Connor, what do we got today in this fun episode? Haven't been together in a couple weeks, so I'm excited to get to it.
Yeah, me too. Today well, depending on what you guys choose to do, you got, you know, options and whatnot. Um,
My
last we
bucket's
left
dry.
off, last we left off, you guys met Alnwick and Toddy, got some new digs. Uh, you made it into the small, like, roadside town, had some drinks, talked to the locals about the mountain and kind of the
Yeah, the
surrounding
local shit
area.
talked Alwick and Toddy.
Yeah, they did not appreciate their presence.
What's from Grateful Savages?
um, uh, Afterwards, you guys, you also learned about the flowers and that they're a wee bit dangerous.
Yeah.
Um,
A little.
Kind of
Some
knew
tall
that, but
tales.
yeah, we learned why.
right. Um, you guys now lay in your beds slash the floor, and look up at the window uh, that has the mountain perfectly framed.
I'm drinking some nighttime tea.
Fantastic.
Helps me go to sleep.
At this point, yeah, I figured you guys had gone to sleep. Woke up the next.
Well, yeah, it's your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have special made shit.
But I'm imagining he would probably just kind of sit up, if he's able to kind of sit up and kind of look out the window at the mountain, just kind of sit there, kind of just thinking, kind of waiting until the other two wake up. Really, mainly for B, because I know Kyntar is gonna be forever.
Okay. You wait a good while, and after a bit, B wakes up.
Yeah, so I'd probably wake up and I just look over at Fezzik. I'm like, any coffee?
Oh, haven't moved since I woke up this morning. But remember, the guards I talked to last night gave us a little scare, so we should probably get out of here pretty quick. Grab a drink and get out. You know
Well,
what
I mean, the
mean?
guards didn't give us a scare. The guards gave you a scare.
Yeah, but we're together now, so that makes
And
you
you talked your way out of
indirectly
it pretty
affected.
well, so I think we're gonna be okay.
We will
As I
be.
say that,
Guilty
I
by
start to wake.
association.
As I say that, I like rub my eyes and I start I just open the door and start making my way downstairs. I'll be like, I'll be back with coffee.
Wait. As you're kind of like leaving through the door. You want to do this? You want me to? Kind of like pointing over to Kyntar.
That's why I'm going downstairs to get the coffee. You can do it.
All right, sounds good. I just want to kind of get under. I'm assuming it's just like a nice wooden frame bed.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can I just kind of like grab it from the side and tilt him and kind of like try to shuffle him off?
yeah, absolutely. Make a strength check.
Okay.
I'll say, yeah, make a strength check.
Make it. All right. Oh, 11.
Oh, you can tell your back is hurting. Let's see. How heavy are you, Kyntar?
Oh shoot.
You look rather big from the design.
Well, I'm tall, but like I'm thin, so I'm trying to like figure out like.
So he's like fucking like 150.
I was like, how tall?
I said he's 6'2", and so like I was thinking like.
Yeah, you're like 150 soaking wet.
I was gonna say 160. I feel like 150 is like emaciated.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
You're the one wanting to be the creepy
that
dog.
Plus the bed, which is probably another like, I don't know, 80 to 90 pounds in all. Pretty heavy. I mean, it's all kind of raw wood. You pick up the side of the bed and try to like shuffle them over, and it's at this point that you realize that the mattress is really just like a sheet tucked around a bunch of hay, and so the sheet comes undone and the hay spills out. and he's just like laying on a pile of hay. It's at about this time where you're kind of startled awake. You didn't fall or anything like that. You just kind of rolled out of bed.
But now I'm laying in hay, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, in between the wall and the bed.
What you do this for?
Oh, you actually already went out and, took care of some farm animals out there last night. You were kind of a dazed. I'm surprised you left in the night, but yeah, you came back and went to sleep on the floor. I couldn't fit in the bed, so I stayed down low, but my back's been hurting. I was stretching it right here.
Down for me?
No, the hay was part of the bed, but I didn't want to undo the sheet completely. So.
Thank you, friend.
Hey, no problem. But we probably should put that. We should probably go ahead and head down, and I can help you put that hay back in there. As I kind of go over there, try to shove the hay back in the bed.
I think that's part of the fee we pay. They'll clean that up.
I don't think we paid anything. I just keep shuffling it back in.
you continue to it's all lumpy and kind of awkward looking. It was pretty mattress-esque when you got in there, but now it's there's a big lump in the middle.
Like a bag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
After I kind of get the last little bit, I'm assuming I'll follow with Kyntar down, grab anything that we had left in the room, and then head down to meet B.
Okay, sounds good. You all approach the downstairs area. You can tell that there are significantly less people here come morning time. Those of the townsfolk that are here are the elderly and some of the children that are too young to go to school. And the barkeep, of course, who during this shift is a young orcish man. You can tell he's probably pretty young, very wiry. From kind of the top down, he's got red hair, green olive skin, tusks that are really just barely poking up out of his bottom lip. He's got some kind of dark green spots all over his face. And he's kind of sweeping with his top set of arms and putting cups back with his bottom set of arms. And just kind of doing idle work. He seems kind of awkward. But to the rest of the people in here, there's an old couple up towards the kind of the front bar area where he's doing his cleaning. And then there are two kids kind of laying on the floor, drawing on the wood with some sort of charcoal that had come out of the fireplace. But yeah. What is Fezzik doing?
I would imagine that I would just kind of see if I can find
sorry.
B. Oh, you're good. Kind of find B as
B.
yeah,
with table drinking some coffee.
Yeah, once I'm assuming me and Kyntar come down together and we see B and kind of just head over to him.
I look for any other for spare cups of coffee on the table.
Okay. As you go through, you can see that it's pretty tidy.
On your table, dude.
Oh, okay.
Not half drank cups.
You literally said the other night that you were just gonna
that's what I thought too.
Yeah. I'm almost positive you said last night we were drinking, you were just gonna grab a ton of people's mouthwash and just poured it all into the same cup and drank it. I'm almost positive you said
he did.
I did do that.
He did.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put it beneath you.
I have higher standards for my coffee, okay?
Good man.
But not for your alcohol?
Less of a good man, but whatever. Yeah, you go. Did you end up buying coffee for the rest of the crew?
Yeah, I would have.
Okay, so yeah, there are two cups. They're small, little tin bowls, essentially, that seem to be hammered. They're not fine craftsmanship or anything like that, but they're serviceable.
I mean,
they conduct heat like a motherfucker, so it's almost impossible to pick up when they first give it to you. But
Lovely.
yeah, you guys drink coffee.
It's alright. I'm a tiefling, so I'm just holding it the whole time, just like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not burning at all. Like, haha.
This is perfect temperature.
As you guys sip your coffee, the people in the bar kind of shuffle out. New patrons shuffle in. This time around, it is the two guards that were coming off of their nightly shift that spoke to you, Fezzik.
Oh, looks like it's our time to be leaving.
Yeah, I guess once I see them, kind of see if I can just full sip the bowl, hit Kyntar to see if he's, not falling asleep and drinking his coffee, and then kind of look over at B and we might as well go ahead and hit the road, right, guys?
I assume that'll be our plan for today, won't it?
Sounds
We
good.
don't have... That's all we really. That's our plan for the most part.
I'm
we don't
ready
really
to
have
get out
anything
of this
else.
place.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I'm just gonna take a big finished sip of the coffee, and then just start to
Finish
make
down
my
a
way
mile.
out.
I drank the coffee, but it did nothing for me.
That's right.
I'm not really trying to sneak
Yeah.
out, but I am just trying to go to the door, just kind of immediately.
Yeah. Okay. You guys make it to the door, seemingly no issue, when one of the guards goes, "Hey, you were the lad that we talked to the other night. You guys getting out of town now?"
Yeah, we're heading out.
I'm just like putting my pipe up to my mouth and putting some like weed in it or whatever, like some fucking. I call it weed because that's what they always refer to it as in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They refer to every sort of like pipe tobacco they smoke in that as a different kind of weed.
It's pipe weed, yeah.
Exactly.
Uh,
So that's why I call it like a weed.
but yeah,
So I'm just
I would,
like putting that in, just like trying to keep my head looking away from them.
yeah, and I would just look at him. And, yeah, we're heading off to go help finish the job for King Leon. Appreciate your boys for your kind words last night.
Captain, not king, Captain.
Captain Leon.
We did
Yeah,
not
see,
get a quest from a king. We got a request from a captain.
Captain. Hey,
He's not a
You can
king.
tell that-
all I know is
like,
that
"All right."
he knows what I'm talking about. As I point over to him.
Captain is king of his underlings.
They kind of like look at each other and like
They have a weird way of
look
looking
back
at
at
life.
you, and they're like, "Right, have fun with that. Don't die."
Can't promise anything, and just open the door and head out.
I'm a wave.
Fair enough. They kind of like both awkwardly wave back a little bit. You guys make it out. It is.
Duck out into the freezing fucking cold.
Yes, it is just as cold as it was last night. It has not gotten any warmer come morning time.
This place is nice.
He's like walking around in a wife beater and shorts and like.
Like this is nice. I like it. Not really. This is honestly getting a bit fucking cold for me.
Just
you guys
right next to B, as close as I can get to him.
He's just kind of radiating heat just a little bit. If you were standing further away from him, you could see the like slight mirage coming off of his skin.
I was gonna say I do like to think there is like a slight little bit of just coming off of me.
Yeah. As you guys progress down the road, the flowers and dirt become ice and snow pretty abruptly. It's almost as though it's like the Ice Kingdom in Adventure Time. It just kind of like stops at a certain point.
Yeah.
That's how this feels. Incredibly unnatural. And the air is like buzzing with this lonely energy. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's like longing
Is it windy at all?
Not that you can tell.
Okay, so it's just like a dead stillness, like a quietness out in the cold. Okay.
So there's no more flowers?
No more. You can tell that there are still flowers, but some of
underneath
them
the
are
snow?
frozen under like a foot of ice.
Jeez. Well, at least we don't got to worry about hurting them. Come on, let's go.
You thinking?
What are you thinking? Don't try to
Yeah.
fuck with the frozen flowers. Let's
I'm
just
just
keep
wondering
walking.
if. Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
I wonder if they were broken now, if they would. The
I don't
same
think we
thing
should
would
try it.
happen.
I think we should hope that if we
I,
unfreeze them, that the Lady of the Flowers forgives us for stepping on them in the first place because we freed these other ones. I'm hoping that maybe will work, and she's not going to come for us in the night.
Yeah.
I don't really see her being a big issue, to be honest.
I don't think you understand how scary she very well might be.
Those
I feel
townspeople
like
were
she-
terrified of her.
True, but they're surviving, and they're a lot weaker than we are.
You
I
do
mean,
realize I actually saw her, right? You didn't actually see her. I saw her. And then I
And-
told you about her, and then we got to the town, and then they described her to you, and you went, holy shit, you did actually see her.
So I admit she exists, but I just feel like she agrees that all the bad blood between us is now in the past. I feel like if we just chill with the flower destruction, we're good.
Yeah, so we just not mess with the flowers, and we'll just kind of see what happens. We should be okay. You know, if this does inadvertently affect.
I lean over towards
The bunny.
Fezzik, and look, if she has to take one of the three of us, we give her the dog. I'm kidding. Not really.
You're going to a
No,
farm
it's
out
to
west.
me.
But it won't be okay. I'm honestly
went
just
to a
worried
little
about getting
farm
up to the
upstate.
mountain.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work. How are we gonna get through to the mountain?
Well, we follow this
We're gonna
path up.
start walking.
Yeah,
but
looks like
it's
there's a path up to
encased
the mountain.
in ice.
There
And
is a
walk-
strangely distinct path that leads all the way up this mountain.
This is some real
Think,
fucking Wizard of Oz shit.
Think the ice temple from Majora's Mask. If that's not a thing in your kind of headspace, think if the Fortress of Solitude was in Tibet. Just super high up. It's just kind of
Just
peeling
think
out
of
of the mountain.
Just think of the wall from Game of Thrones.
Is
Yeah,
Fortress of
but-
Solitude the thing from Superman?
Yeah.
It's the thing that Justice League
gotcha.
hangs out in.
Gotcha.
How'd you not know that? You're the comic book nerd.
I didn't know that.
Gambit underrated.
This catacomb, almost. You see as you walk through the lanes. When you walk in, it tapers up. The ice kind of builds walls around you that are, at first, waist high, but the further and further you travel in, these walls are easy 40, 50, 60 feet tall. Just sheer cut, almost laser cut through the ice. On either side, you can see buildings on the inside of the ice that are just gargantuan. Even to you, Fezzik, they're huge.
We're gonna die here.
So now it looks like we're like walking through a canyon almost. Like
Yes.
Really tall walls on each side of us.
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous, but haunting. The ice is bluer than you've ever seen before.
Do we see any people inside these ice things? We can
Make a
see
perception
buildings.
check.
Okay. I know we can see buildings and such, but I'm just wondering if we can see any people that were like fleeing as.
Are
whatever
we
occurred
all
here
able to
occurred.
look at that?
Yeah,
check it out?
yeah, feel free.
13. I mean, I'm looking at the walls for sure.
Let's see.
I don't see shit. I rolled a nat one. So a
I got
3.
13 as
Close.
well.
So a 3, yeah. I think
What
Fezzik
did you
is
get?
more. Oh, sorry.
I got a 13 as well.
Okay. I'll say kind of with your combined 13s. Fezzik, you got real close, and the intrusive thought to know what the wall tastes like hit you, and you stick your tongue to the side of the wall, and you're immediately stuck for a moment.
Bleh.
The other
Bleh.
the other two, you guys look around for a while, and it's tough to tell. The shapes are so cloudy. The deeper into the ice that you get, but maybe there are people in there. You're not entirely sure.
B, can you get this guy's tongue off the wall?
I grab Fezzik's head and just pull it off the wall.
You could have just melted it off very easily.
Just like kind of feeling my tongue.
Thanks.
Also,
missing the top layer of skin, though.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
it's sore for sure, but you're a giant, so you've got more kind of durable
Giant tongue.
There's multiple
surfaces.
ways
Yeah.
to skin a cat. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with all the ways to skin a cat.
I bet you are.
Do we think that this is solid ice?
What do you think?
Yes.
As we're sitting there like
yes,
tapping
it's
on it and
solid.
shit.
Like you knock on it and it makes that like that kind of like echoey, almost laser-like sound. But it's really deep. It's that same sound but like octaves lower. And
Sorry.
After a minute, it kind of reverberates back at you. And you can hear the sound again after like 30 minutes of walking. You guys continue on, and it's at about this point where you can tell you're walking through some sort of, well, what used to be a town square for creatures that were also easily 60 feet tall.
Oh, look at his ancestors, Fezzik.
Yeah, at this point, you do see large, looming shadows
It's fucking
stuck
terrifying.
in the ice.
Alright, this is some fucking Attack on Titan shit.
Maybe it's good that this mountain is frozen.
You know, I honestly say we say fuck it and leave, and we leave these bastards frozen here.
I mean, like, if the captain knew that these creatures were in here, would
I mean, he didn't, though.
Did he?
Well, no, they asked us to come investigate, didn't they?
Many people
Yeah, exactly.
Many people besides giants don't really know of this area. This is a long lost city that's been frozen of our ancestors. I've heard stories, but seeing it now is blowing my head away at this point. And my tongue still hurts.
Also, you
Do you
never
know
know.
anything about these people?
Coming out this way east, it might kind of discourage people from coming out this way east with the flower fields and such. You know, if you don't really know the superstition and then you pick some flowers.
Well, do you think that
We
maybe
got lucky.
you think
We got
maybe the
lucky. We know how
flowers
to
are here
fight.
to guard
If you're just a
people?
trader and you're just going out some way to trade and you pick some flowers and something fucking murders you, takes you in the night, kills off your whole caravan, it's not really gonna persuade people to go out that way trading now, is it? So I assume out in that town they probably don't get a lot of folk. They said they don't. They said like we're one of the few folk they really kind of got recently, other than Alwick and Toddy. And they didn't like Alwick and Toddy, even though I thought Alwick and Toddy were bloody fantastic.
I thought they were pretty good, pretty nice stuff.
Yeah.
Can I do like some kind of like a history check or something for like what these creatures like
That-
might be?
That's what I was also
Look
about
like
to ask
giants.
if I could do a history to like remember anything. That
I will say make you both of you can make history checks.
While they do that, I just want to keep an eye out of anything attempting to approach is all. Just so that way we don't risk getting ambushed of any sort.
24.
24.
My little
I rolled a
investigative
19.
werewolf.
I rolled an 18.
He puts on his inspector fucking glasses
18.
and investigative werewolf goes
Okay.
to work.
Straight 18.
There are lots and lots of different legends about this place. Some are that there is a giant bird that lives here that is the cause of all the freezing.
Articuno?
Some of the legends
Sorry.
say that the giants that once lived here angered the gods, and the gods froze the mountain solid.
Looks like it's possible.
Specifically an ancient elvish goddess of the moon that nobody really believes in anymore. She's in a lot of historical texts, but her name I'll say to get that one you'll have to roll a religion check for me. But
7.
7? Yeah, you have no idea.
I had advantage and +3 in religion. I rolled 2 4s.
Oh, yeah. This goddess. It's pretty much all that's known about her is that she was a goddess of the moon. That's about it.
Does I got rolled an 18 on my religion? Is that
18 on your religion?
yeah?
You.
It's funny that the werewolf boy doesn't know about the goddess of the moon.
You would know more about this by nature, actually. You have heard stories about Lunara. She kind of disappeared in the nomenclature of the world after her legend and the legend of the elves kind of subside at the same time.
Gotcha.
The elf presence in this world is pretty minimal. There are some wood elf tribes, but the moon elves were something else. They were special in a way, created for a purpose. But like I said before, not a whole lot is known about Lunara. The texts about her were kept either secret or destroyed. The only thing that you would have learned is that the giants a long, long time ago and Lunara worked together to make sure that the world was safe at one point. There are legends about giants' footprints in the sand being filled with moonlight and making their work and their progress ever more powerful. But yeah, was there anything specific that you were looking for?
No, I think that was really about it because I don't think most of what I've heard is probably stories from Ma and Pa.
Old legends. Yeah.
I think Ma was probably more of the giant ancestry, and Pa was more of maybe he probably told me a little bit more with his travels throughout the world.
Bradley Cooper in the D&D movie.
Yeah, I think at that point, once I kind of like looked around and kind of remembered some of this information, I'll kind of look over at those two. And, I know it may be scary seeing these colossal creatures here, but I think if we find the source of this cold, I think it may help us not only take care of our mission with Captain Leon, but I think it may help in a bigger spot for the world.
Fezzik, you tell me, if these are your kin, related to you and such, if you want us to help them, we'll help them. If you believe that they're good, I'll take your word for it.
I think so. I wouldn't say they're my kin. Long ancestry. Maybe something like that. But,
if you're a descendant from them in some way, you never know.
But I think this would be something we need to go forward. I think we should be careful, but as long as we stick back, watch our rear, we should be okay.
Sounds good to me. And as he says that, I draw my longsword just to have it at the ready.
All right. You guys continue up the mountainside. As you do so, the city kind of disappears. You are met with a long, kind of narrow path that hugs the side of the mountain, kind of up and around. You can tell that this place has been visited before, recently.
Fresh tracks.
At this point, there are tracks in the ground that lead out in front of you, walking down the path.
Gotta find
They
out
don't
what kind
look
of tracks.
like chicken tracks at all, do they?
No.
Okay.
They do not look like chicken tracks.
Fucking carriage being pulled by a goddamn chicken.
I mean, can we do some kind of check to see if we recognize the tracks?
Yeah, I would do investigation.
Can I do a 1 second? Can I do
22.
survival? Oh no, I have a +4 in both. It doesn't matter actually.
Does survival make more sense?
Only an 8 for me, so it doesn't matter.
Oof.
Yep, 4 + 4.
I feel like I will
I've
say I
done
feel
two.
like survival does work a little bit better. I feel like investigation is figuring out how something works,
Yeah, that's
or
true.
figuring out what's going on more than the. I feel like
Yeah.
survival you're still figuring it out, but yeah, it's in that
My
way.
survival and my investigation are the same bonus.
Same. Exactly.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. So what was it?
22.
22. You look at the tracks. They're large. You look at Fezzik. He's large.
Fezzik, did you come this way?
Put your foot in there.
Oh my god.
I kind of put my first. I want to put my foot like kind of next to it, and then put it like try to fit it into it.
Okay. You put your foot next to it, and you're like, no, I gotta make sure. And you put your foot into it, and sure enough, this is like a full size bigger than you.
Oh,
Wouldn't
lovely.
be.
So lovely. It dwarfs your foot when you step into it. Lovely.
Hey, just for shits and gigs, put your foot in it.
I put my foot in it.
It looks like a child putting their foot into an adult's footprint.
I look over at Kyntar and I go, fuck. Mm-hmm.
Any idea what it could be?
Probably a giant.
Well,
You notice that it's not bare feet. It is like shoed feet. Like there it was somebody.
A giant that had taste in clothing.
I've never met one. Oh wait, it kind of showed my Alex shit.
Just a little thing, so that way you get the tick down again.
I feel like this is good for us, right? I mean, if we meet this guy, Fezzik could, reason with him.
I can sure
That's
try if he's
true.
maybe part of Dennis by
I'm
Landing.
some beast.
Hey, I just say we approach it with caution.
Agreed.
Always.
Yes, you know how to do that.
Do we try want to, maybe be a little more sneaky as we kind of move through this? Is there really any spots for us to be able to
I'm
like
not going to be of much
or...
use being sneaky. I'm in scale mail armor. I believe I get disadvantage on my
We've all got our snowshoes on.
Gotcha.
So we can try to be sneaky if you want.
If it's not worth the time, then let's not waste it.
Man, one of us should have got past without a trace. That would have been a useful spell.
I've never heard of that shit.
We'll see what happens if I multi-class in the future.
We'll see.
But anyway, we'll see what happens if I ever decide to do something different. So you're the only one who's really kind of like you're not wearing any armor, Fezzik. So you're the only one that's not really at a disadvantage there. Kyntar and I are, since we're both in armor, so we're not going to be really stealthy in this situation. We can attempt it, but I say we can not necessarily go in guns blazing, but we could go in with
caution aware.
I mean, yeah, we could go in not necessarily trying to be, stealthy about it. We could try just being cautious.
I think we should
keep an eye out for traps, anything of that sort.
Well, if we end up seeing anything up ahead, I can try to, move up a little bit further. You can get their attention and maybe we can get some sort of attack. See what we can do, but we'll play it by ear. Just stay close for now and we'll move.
Let's just be careful. And I'll take the lead if you guys want. I don't really know about marching orders here for all of us, what we really want to do. I feel as all of us are kind of like used to being up in the front, so
just say let's stand in a little triangle. We'll be fine. Little lines.
Let's Red Rover this shit. Come on.
Yeah. Just have Fezzik and B.
Just all three of us
middle,
standing side by side.
Just kind of walking up.
Okay. You guys walking along the path, and it is frigidly cold. Huh?
I think that you two can probably hear my stomach like rumbling at this point.
You're always hungry.
You guys still have some of that deer on you. You're not sure how good it is, though.
Oh, I just ate some.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was fine. It was almost like the day you killed it.
I was about to say, I thought I remembered you saying before, whenever we took it out at one point, that it was still like fresh. So I was wondering, and also, yeah. So good luck there. I'm glad it stays fresh for you. You fucking animal.
You just got elk
Fucking
sickle
risking
now.
it with anything.
It's been dead too long.
But yeah, I think at that point we just kind of keep moving forward in our little line until we see anything more significant.
Sounds good to me. As you walk up the path, you start moving around the mountain. The path leads around to a cave that takes you into the mountain. When you get up to the entrance of this cave, you can tell that it's like maybe 60 feet forward in front of you of solid ice, and then there seems to be walls in the ice. If you kind of look up and through and use the moon, or the sun, I guess still at this point, to illuminate through the mountainside, you can definitely tell that there is a structure under the ice. A large one.
Is there any way to see? Is there any way to discern what it is, or is it too blurry through the ice?
From the silhouette that you're seeing, you can sense some sort of fortress or castle.
Okay.
Well,
but just going in, like, so far from what we can see inward, it just like on the sides of it are what we can see as a fortress.
Further, so like you're standing at the entrance, and then it's just ice, and then fortress in front of you.
Okay. So there's no way in, basically.
No, I mean, no, you can get in. There's a hole cut out.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm assuming it's.
But we just basically see this sheer side of ice that shows us the fortress inside. Okay.
Yes.
We would have to go through the cave to get to the fortress, but we can see it through the ice
right.
at the entrance to the cave, right?
This map has been suspiciously clear.
I agree with you there. All right.
Might as well head in.
The only thing we can do is, I mean, we're here to investigate. We've found so far some tracks in that there's a city inside of this place. I don't think that's enough to get us a payday. Let's head inside and check it out.
Do it.
As you walk inside the tracks, you are still able to follow the tracks. To your left and right, as you pass the walls of whatever this fortress is, two braziers, maybe 20 feet into the ice on either side, light up with
inside
blue-green light. Yeah. Light up with like blue-green light.
That's ominous.
As you walk in, the footprints change. They go from being shoed feet to smattered log shapes, big round impact zones, like essentially, where the
almost in the shape of like hooves, possibly.
It's not hoof-like. It's too organic looking to.
Oh,
but it's like the earth has been crushed in the step.
Yeah, I mean, the snow has been stomped into another location, kind of in a splash zone around it.
Got it.
So what were you saying earlier, Kyntar, about it only being a person with shoes? Weren't you happy about that?
As you enter this first room, in what you can now tell is a giant castle. Huge stairways that stand at waist-high stairs. You would have to vault up each stair step to get up them. The ceiling is covered in gargantuan chandeliers that have the same kind of sickly green teal light over their candles. As you walk further into the room, you can see large pieces of torn and ripped artwork. Their details broken up by deep, long slashes. Some of the images are of what look like nobles. Some of the images are framed slabs of stone that are put up on the wall as if they weighed nothing. Those slabs of stone have intricately carved knotwork and runes on them that look familiar but are unreadable. The light that flows through the ice on the ground is first pink, and then blue, and then green, and then purple, and then blue again. It's this shifting kind of array of colors. And it strangely looks like smoke.
Some
Kind of
fire in there.
burbling under the ice. It looks like there's some radiant smoke. As you progress in, the footprints all but vanish. Just kind of the snow stops after you get into the castle proper, and so the footprints have nothing to stay in.
It's on.
Yeah.
So there's no like ice anymore, like
the ice is still there.
On the inside of the castle.
Yeah, it's just a thin sheet. It's slippery in here, but it's not unmanageable.
Okay, but it's not like it's a thin sheet of ice over the castle floor.
Yes. It's like somebody came in with like a garden hose and sprayed the inside of your house and then froze all of that water overnight. Gotcha. The chandeliers have big, like, hanging stalactites of ice that look precarious and jingle jangle as you walk past uncomfortably.
Out of pure curiosity with the tracks, do we get any sort of like fae, fiend, or undead vibes from them?
Give me just a moment.
Just out of pure curiosity.
You do pick up undead.
It's faint
right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's faint
Can I
right now,
make
but...
a 1 second? You say it's faint. With my Hunter's Bane, I have advantage on intelligence and ability checks to recall information about them. I assume I might not be able to recall much information about this thing just from its tracks.
Right.
But okay, at least I'm fine with it. At least if I pick up that it has undead traces to it. So I just want to relay that to the two of them.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if anything was alive here with the frozen ice.
That's a good point. I just didn't expect us to, well, those tracks that we found originally to then be leading from an undead source.
You think it's an undead giant?
Could be.
Possibly. Sure. I couldn't think of anything else that big and undead.
All I know is that it's a good thing that it is undead, because I'll at least be able to fuck it up pretty well.
That's what I like to hear. Well,
we'll have a harder time reasoning with it.
Do you think we could just make it across the ice?
I don't see why we wouldn't.
I mean, if that thing was able to get across it, it's bigger than all of us.
But I don't see any tracks or anything on the ice. How do we know it went across it?
You can tell that the ice is like... Yeah, you can tell that the ice is sandblasted. It's slick, but you would almost have to try to slip on it.
Oh, okay.
It's not difficult terrain or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's almost like granite. Like you would have to like try to leave marks on it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And you said it was just a giant, 60-foot ice. I don't know if I missed that, but was it just like a giant room that we're in? that we went into?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With all
Think
these
like-
goddamn braziers and fucking chandeliers lighting up. That's not ominous as fuck.
Think like the foyer to the Titanic. It's got the staircase that goes up both sides, and it's got the big open ballroom style.
But it's just giant compared to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because the
Yeah,
stairs are like...
It's
at
a
our
football
waist.
stadium.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
As we're looking at this,
Alright.
I kind of want to kind of like start pounding my chest a little bit and speed be with me forever I need. And I want to cast a Long Strider on myself. And I want to use a sorcerer point to extend that to 2 hours instead of just 1 hour.
Interesting. Okay, so you kind of bang out this rhythm on your chest and say your incantation, and the smoke on the floor coalesces into a stream that guides you down the hallway.
I didn't think that would happen. I guess...
Yeah, you just... How'd you do that?
More of those same unreadable runes kind of apparate inside the smoke. As it's kind of tumbling through the floorboards and through the tiles, you can see letters kind of show up and disappear in seconds. Sometimes you think for a second that they're readable and then they're not. As you continue down the hallway, it enters this massive, like, pillars on either side, windows in between each pillar. Think the outside hallways at Hogwarts, but blown up to be just enormous. Columns of onyx stone broken up by almost celestial blue ice. And as you continue down the hallway, each of the sconces that light each of the pillars kind of flick on as you pass them. Just adding, a little bit more light to the area. It's at about this point where the entire structure is just getting darker, so these sconces are definitely useful.
Okay.
As well as the smoke on the floor, because once you get into a darker room, you notice the smoke itself is glowing.
There's still smoke in the floor?
Yeah. It's kind of ever present in the
like
floor.
a rock show, dude.
So I don't, because you said that the ice is really thin. Where does it look like this smoke and like light is coming from?
It's too thick to see through all the way down. It's almost as though the floor itself is transparent, like somebody built it out of rock and stone and whatever, and then over time it somehow became glassy and transparent, and you're seeing through the floor. But it doesn't seem like there's anything exactly underneath the ice from what you can tell. But the illusion that the smoke gives off is that you would be walking over a massive chamber.
So there's like a drop below it, basically.
Yeah, and you're not super sure if it's a trick of the eye or if there is actually a large chasm underneath you. And this whole castle is suspended.
Lovely.
As you continue down,
So, like, if we melt the ice, are we gonna have a floor?
you're not sure.
I don't want to
Let's not
figure
test it.
out.
Yeah, let's not test it.
I mean, our whole goal is to melt this ice. So
Our whole goal is to find.
Our whole goal is
Is
to
to find
investigate
information
this place.
about the
Thank
source.
you, Fezzik.
Every 5 or so pillars, there's a new column or a new hallway that opens up. Sometimes they are kind of filled in with ice in a way that looks really jagged and dangerous. Big spikes of sharp, almost blade-like stalagmites and stalactites of ice that come off of the walls and the roof and the floor and the everything. Some of the hallways are totally empty, and some of the hallways have doors kind of covering them up, but they're very obviously padlocked and then frozen shut after the padlocking.
That's weird.
Some of these rooms, nobody wanted anybody to get back into.
You said some
You
of them
can-
were empty?
Yeah, some of them are just like empty hallways. There's no ice blocking the path. But it
Are
doesn't
the
seem as
doors
though,
at the end of them?
not that you can tell, they kind of wind off into pitch blackness.
Might just extend into other parts of the fortress.
Yeah, I don't know, but the path we're on continues?
Yeah, it
I
continues
mean, as
forward.
long as that smoke trail is telling us where to go, I say we follow it.
It continues
I
forward
agree.
and turns a little to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue following the path.
Just leading.
As you do so, you're surprised to feel a warm breeze coming from in front of you. It hits you as the light in the smoke starts to fade, and as both of those culminate, stairs that lead down kind of appear in front of you as the hallway stops and leads to a different part of the castle.
There's no way this is a volcanic mountain, right?
If it would, I wouldn't see how it could be active with all the ice.
That's what I'm wondering. Sorry, let's just keep
They said that about Mount St. Helens.
What?
No, I'm just. The stairs are again very large. It's going to take kind of a hop down, kind of a twinge in the ankle, maybe if you land wrong.
hoping not to slip every
Yeah, right,
jump
every
down.
time. I would like to get a kind of a base. We'll say dexterity. For your guys, or I'll say survival because this is a test of survival. This is whether or not you guys are able to maintain your balance.
Could it be athletics?
Could it be an acrobatics?
Oh, athletics is more. I feel like that's more competitive.
I've got two party members here that I'm really trying to do better.
You're such a fuck.
I will say acrobatic. Are you doing something that is acrobatic?
I'm trying to gracefully
Are
jump
you doing
down.
flips and shit?
Do a flip.
I would imagine
Do a
that if it's a,
barrel!
I would imagine if it's a large enough structure for me to jump down and to allow the force of the impact to not hurt my legs and my knees and my back already hurts.
Yeah.
So I would probably roll after that and trying to stay without falling onto the next platform.
That sounds pretty acrobatic to me.
Yeah. I'll say you can go ahead and use acrobatics. I'll say you can go ahead and use.
I think you're a bitch for not trying to jump on the side and slide down and do some skateboard shit.
Just wait.
Okay.
I will say yes. You can use athletics because it would take quite a bit of athleticism to maintain.
I can do an athletics check.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sick.
Just let me know what all everybody's numbers are, and I will speak accordingly.
Hey, 16.
18.
And that's in survival, acrobatics, or athletics. Go fuck yourself. I can give you all three.
Okay.
Plus 6 in athletics.
I had a 15. If it's athletics, it's a 20. But no. Yes, 15. Athletics.
Okay, so 15 B.
16.
Kyntar.
18.
18. Okay. I'll start with Kyntar and work my way around. Kyntar, you are able to kind of deftly do this kind of slide, grab the edge, hop down, and it's kind of a pattern that you can find yourself easily controlling with the slidiness of the stairs themselves. B, you said you got a 16?
Mm-hmm. As I land, I say, parkour!
Each step. It kind of like parkour. Kind of echoes off into the
parkour. Get that parkour.
B, I'll say, just to even things out, we'll say survival. You are smartly kind of getting a slide, stabbing your knife in, planting your feet on the wall, and popping down, doing that each time. You, with your acrobatics, find a stride, I'll say. Your tuck and roll, kind of perfect dark, mirror's edge style mode of getting down these stairs has you picking up speed. At first, it's a slow kind of like, cool, I got this. After 2 or 3 steps, it's like, okay, might be getting a little fast. After 6 or 7 steps, you're like, okay, where are the handholds? And you're not hurt by any means, but it's like Mario running over a single gap. You like miss the gap entirely and just continue as if it were a flat plane.
I just imagine like the dive is more of like the Assassin's Creed, like jumping off of something and like landing, and then the tuck roll is like an Elden Rings, but you're wearing like nothing on you, so it's just like you land and then just continue.
Yeah, it's a
very
graceful, strange, slippery, bouncy motion.
You just look like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog.
Yes, 100%. On an ice level, like you guys see him kind of rolling down the stairway ahead of you. As you kind of move down the stairway, lights and sconces turn on, and as they have, it all culminates in this room being extraordinarily tall. The door matches the size of the opening of the room, except most of it is frozen, except for maybe a like 10-foot hole burnt into the ice to get to the door on the other side. You're muted there, boss.
No, I know. I'm just talking to myself. I just don't want to talk over you.
Oh. Just making sure. Looking at the door, you can see that there is a smaller door. And it's kind of like a Russian nesting doll of entrances. There's a real small door.
There's like 18 doors going back here, and it just keeps just like.
But they're all built into one big, almost elastic door.
Guys, somebody's doing a really hard job of hiding their porn stash.
No, it's all one door. It's just sectioned off into
so it's like sectioned off into different sizes for like who you are trying to go through it. That's cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Very inclusive castle.
Yeah, it literally sounds like one of those cartoon doors that you see for like in like a fucking Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, where they have like the certain doors for like Wilt to get through, but then it also had like the small ones and shit. That's cool.
You've lost me.
You never had a child.
That was a good pull.
Agreed. You guys notice that this door is not locked from any visual signs. The smoke in the floor, now that the stairs are gone, is kind of back, but it almost hits the door underneath the ice and stops.
I think it's waiting for us to open it.
What are you guys doing?
You know that?
Kyntar, how about you open that door over there?
Well,
actually, no. I want to first check to make sure it's not trapped.
Is there like I'll probably do like an Arcana check as well.
Okay. Go ahead and do your Arcana check.
I've dropped this dice like 7 times. It's
Hold
actually
on
a
to your
good roll on
dice.
my carpet. I'm rolling. I can't roll and hold on at the same time. 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. There is definitely magic all around you. With the door specifically, it's kind of hard. The ice makes everything super diffuse. You can tell that if there is a magical presence on the door, it's significantly less. But with your best interests, you could probably tell that it's not magically enchanted in any way.
Oh well, I look at B. I shrug my shoulders. Then is there a knob or
That was
like
real
a handle? What?
Yeah.
I was just gonna give you shit. Be like, that was a really great explanation of what's going on with the door. Just look at him and go, oh.
Just like, But like I'll grab whatever handle is most like height appropriate for us.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I attempt to open said door.
Okay. You open the smaller door and it catches on the ice for a moment. As you kind of rake past it, this door opens into a room that is and can only be described as a gargantuan amphitheater.
I fucking knew it was gonna be huge too, just because they have all these doors for it.
Like it's got a stage?
Yes.
Oh.
The stage is in the middle, so it's almost like a circus arena.
Cool.
Okay.
You look up, and what you assume to be is a dome-shaped top to this maybe 120-foot up room. The whole top of this room is covered in glowing, luminescent smoke. At this angle, you recognize them as the Northern Lights.
Okay.
I want to go to the opposite side of the room and see if I recognize them as the Southern Lights. That was a joke.
This room is pitch black for the most part. You can see the vague shapes in the room, which alerts you to the size of the place, as well as the glowing smoke at the top. The only thing that is well lit is the center of this arena.
Stage?
Yes. It's flat. It's flat, and then on the edges there's like chairs and balconies and stuff that go way up.
One might refer to it as a Colosseum.
Right.
That's a great name for something like this.
Yeah.
And we're standing right in the middle of it.
Wait, we're in the middle of it?
No, you guys are
No, we're up
standing
top.
at the doorway.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're in the doorway at least.
In the middle of the Colosseum, you see just a small white shape. It looks like a figure, maybe. Underneath the small white shape is a 40-foot smattering of red and blue. The only other thing in the room, standing next to this white kind of bauble on the ground, is a bipedal, white-haired elephant.
This explains the tracks now.
Is it undead? B, is it undead?
Can I sense it?
One of those things is undead.
Okay, lovely.
Well, we
I
haven't
look
gotten
over at
this far
Kyntar and I go, Well, one of those things over there is undead. It could be the elephant. It could be the little white thing.
Well, wait.
Whatever
I guess I got confused at your description. I thought it was a big bipedal white elephant.
Yeah, I mean, it's got
okay.
the fur that comes off of his head and the kind of top of his trunk and out of his ears and a little bit out of his chest area that kind of pokes up out of his big coat kind of shawl thing. You can see that his tusks come out, and one of them is chopped off at the front, but is replaced with a morning star head. And he doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
So what else is there?
I was just, so is there only the elephant in the room, or is there also
a small white
other
figure?
Thing
but we can't tell what the
white
small
figure
you
talked about.
Yeah, it's a small white figure. It seems to be hunched over on the ground.
Humanoid? Humanoid?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and start transforming.
Okay. Yeah. You as you're trying to gather more information, visual information, auditorial information, you're kind of interrupted by the snapping of sinew and bones as you see his teeth kind of rattle in his skull and elongate.
Gross. It's gross every
kind
time.
Of tearing and ripping the skin around his cheeks and his jaw.
It's so gross every time.
Your tongue kind of flails out longer than it should and recoils back into your mouth as you finish. Just hair finally pushes out of your skin. But yeah, I am going. Are you guys trying to be stealthy at all?
Then I'm gonna say that I let out a howl.
I was about to say, this motherfucker.
I don't
over here
think so.
Are you being stealthy at all? And I'm over here investigating, being all right, so there's an elephant, and then there's a little white humanoid figure, just relaying it, and then all of a sudden you just hear the little, and we're just what the fuck? Look over, and this motherfucker just freaking out over there. Every time with you. Every time.
You hear this howl echo out into the massive room, and it comes. You can hear the sound go up the walls and then slam back down into the floor. And when it does so, you can see the floor kind of glow a little bit, almost as it's receptive to the noise you've created. The almost harmonies in your voice.